always nice to reminisce on your first time doing something. Whether it was a good or bad experience, those moments have helped to shape us into the people we are today.
That's right.
So let's take a look back at some of those moments. This is I Remember the First Time.
Every time I hear this, I just want to say I remember my first time, which is going in a very different direction.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
ladies.
Loni.
I have this bowl, and I want you to pull from your card. I'm gonna pull first.
Okay.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
Yes, see.
Oh,
What do you
God.
got?
I'm scared. Okay.
What?
I remember the first time I was proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort
wow.
Oh.
zone. Wow. Okay, probably when I was an engineer and I was very, very unhappy, but you know, I was supposed to be traditional, and traditional means you got this good job, you got benefits, you should get married.
Have
and
children.
I just was like, I'm not comfortable with that.
Right.
But for them, they said that that was my comfort zone. And so I took the step of really taking some time. I took a trip and I tried to understand and get to know myself. And then I knew that I wasn't going to be that traditional person. So from that trip, I had to make a plan to step out of working and being an engineer. And so with that, I wanted to become an engineer, an actual entertainer. And so in order to be an entertainer, I had to, step onto the stage, and I had to do my first open mic in Hollywood.
How was that?
I wrote 5 minutes, and I signed up, and I waited 3 hours, and I was horrible.
Really?
I was horrible, but I'm gonna tell you something.
What? Yeah.
You always get back on the stage.
That's right.
And I got better.
Yeah.
And I became a better stand-up and a great
Yeah.
stand-up, and I did a stand-up special and things like that. So that was my comfort zone of actually getting on stage. I had to find out who I was and what I really wanted to be, and I'm glad that I did that because that shaped me and got me to this place right here.
I love that. The next time you do stand-up, invite us. I'd love to see you.
I've seen, and she's amazing.
Thank
so
you.
good, so good. So that really says something. Just because you're not great at it the first time doesn't mean you should give up either.
That's right.
All right, well, let's see what the next one is. I'm gonna shake this up.
Shake it, shake it.
The next one up, let's see what we get. I'm gonna go for this one right here. And it says, I remember the first time I did something I regretted.
Ooh.
The first time I did something I regretted. I would say, and this actually just happened to me recently, and I always say I live a life without regrets, because I really do believe that if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't have ended up where I am today. So even the things that went wrong for me, and even the things that I might regret, somehow they got me to where I am today, and I'm grateful for those lessons I had to learn. But one of the lessons I did not learn was how to drive.
Oh,
and
that's
I've
right.
always kind of been somewhat cocky about the fact that, like, I don't know how to drive. I'm a New Yorker. I own that. I'm a true Manhattanite, and I was born to be driven. I don't drive, right? And those are, like, funny little cop-outs that I would make so that I didn't seem as silly, because I think in a lot of other places, till this day, people on our Instagram will be like, she don't drive. And it wasn't until recently, this is actually really sad, I was forced to drive because I was in New York City and I took the train into where I live now in Westchester. And Lana, my best friend, drank wine on the train. She drank a little too much wine, and when we arrived, I was forced to have to drive us to the house. Granted, I do have a permit, but I don't ever really use it. And I was so scared.
Were you?
And I regretted being so cocky about not knowing how to drive and being like, I'll never learn it and it'll be fine, until I got behind the wheel and I realized that because I didn't do it sooner, I'm now more afraid.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't think people talk about the fact that, like, if you don't try something for a long time and you get, like, now I'm scared. So, like, I just looked a hot mess, man. But I know that one day I do want to have children. If there's an emergency, I want to be able to take my kids. I want to drop them off to, ballet, basketball, whatever it is.
I'll give you driving lessons.
Fine, thank you. I regret not knowing how to drive. There we go.
Let me know when you're on the road. Okay.
I will. I'm a very careful driver. I got us home safely. I was just a little scared.
Aw. Okay. I remember the first time a guy asked me out on a date.
Oh.
Ooh, which story?
Go
do
back
I
in them
tell?
archives.
Like, oh, when I was 3. Quite some time ago.
I remember the first time a guy asked me out on a date, and I thought we were having a really great time. We're great conversations, really fun. The bill comes, and so I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, when's he gonna reach for it? And then he finally said to me, he got the check, he looked at it, and he goes, "Are you okay with sharing it?" And I was like, "I'll do you one better. I got it." And I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Have a great night." And I left.
That's
And I
good for
left.
you.
Like, what?
That was one of your
What?
first dates? That was your
He
experience?
was like, yeah. He was like, "Do you mind if we split the check?" Then why are you asking me out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Man, it happens.
He's probably
It
still
happened.
single.